I mean, Jada wants Mel to meet her parents, so that's definitely getting serious. Hey guys, it's Kristen, and today we are talking about episode 13 of the Charmed Reboot. And this was another Demon of the Week format episode, and I gotta say, those are some of my favorite ones that they've done. Make sure to drop in the comments and let me know what you guys thought about this episode of Charmed, because honestly, that's my favorite part of even doing these reviews, is just talking with you guys about our thoughts and theories and what is going on here. If you like these videos every week, please give them a thumbs up and consider subscribing. In this episode, we're following a pixie who's causing chaos within the film department at Hilltown University, and I had a really fun time watching them kind of poke fun at the Manic Pixie dream girl trope that we sometimes see in film and television. For those who aren't familiar, a Manic Pixie dream girl is this stock fictional character. I want to give you guys the exact definition. So it is defined as existing solely in the fevered imaginations of sensitive writer-directors to teach broodingly soulful young men to embrace life and its infinite adventures. Some examples include Annie Hall, Penny Lane in Almost Famous, Claire Coburn in Elizabethtown, and Margot in Paper Towns. So it turns out that this pixie is being controlled by a selfish film student who wants to be the greatest filmmaker of all time, and that is why she's doing all the things she's doing, because pixies are really supposed to be friendly and fun and, you know, not evil. I think the actress Emily Bader, who played Chloe the Pixie, did a really great job, and I think that this episode was just really well executed. She even brought this like sinking depth at the end of the episode when she finally gets her acorn heart back and realizes all of the terrible things that she was forced to do. I also really liked the magical elements that we got in this episode, like the pixie trap, which was really whimsical and fun. You know, there's honey and bells and cookies, and the spell that they use is just giggling. It's super random but really quirky and fun. You know, obviously there were definitely some darker elements in this. I mean, somebody actually died in this episode, but at the same time, I feel like they were able to make it also feel kind of lighthearted. I mean, they even got Harry singing at one point. I also really loved the book about pixies that Harry gave the girls. It was so beautiful and magical, and I loved the different elements that kind of came out of it. It was kind of like this magic pop-up book. I would love to see more moments like that with their actual Book of Shadows, because I just thought that was really cool. Now, on the other side of things, we also learned a little bit more about how to possibly get the EB out of Macy with Galvin's help. I think there's definitely been some progress in helping Parker's demon side, but it looks like that might not work for Macy. So Galvin and Macy end up going to see Mama Roz to see if there's some way that she can speak with Galvin's grandmother, who has already passed on, and it works, but it turns out that the way that Galvin can learn how to remove the EB from Macy involves this really dangerous test. He's down to do it. He's even professing his love for Macy, so I guess that's gonna be something we're gonna see down the line. Galvin kind of risking his life doing some type of test or competition to learn how to remove this evil from Macy. And speaking of love, there are a lot of love connections going on. You know, Macy and Galvin, looks like Maggie and Parker are back together again. They share a kiss in this episode. And even Jada and Mel, I mean, Jada wants Mel to meet her parents, so that's definitely getting serious. You know, it definitely looks like all sunshine, rainbow, roses for the charmed ones and their love lives, but you know that's not gonna last. You know, like, I can already tell something's gonna happen. There's no way when you're, you know, constantly fighting off demons and monsters, like, something's gonna go wrong. They can't have these perfect love lives forever. I also gotta say, I'm still not really a fan of any of the relationships, so I would be fine with the girls just like focusing on their sisterhood and defeating demons and monsters. I don't think that they necessarily need love interests right now, although if they were to have any, I kinda liked Nico and Mel. I don't know if I really feel very strongly about any of these other relationships. And finally, let's get into that cliffhanger. So Mel is about to meet Jada's parents when, hold up, they are surrounded by people in masks and uniforms, and Jada gets shot by a bow and arrow. What is going on? This really reminds me of the OG Charmed when they had dark lighters who had these like poisoned arrows that they could use to shoot white lighters, and I mean, what else could be going on there? Who has a bow and arrow? And then, you know what, guys, overall I do feel like this episode felt smoother to me. It felt like more on track. It felt like the pacing was better. I liked where the story was going. It felt like everything was even. It wasn't like, oh, we're doing so much of this story and not enough of this story. I really like when they do the Demon of the Week episodes, but also still sprinkle things in that are progressing the story as well, which I think this one did really well. And then after watching the promo for next week's episode, that also reminds me of another OG Charmed classic, Chick Flick, which was the episode when horror movie characters came out of the movies and came to life. That was always a fun one. So this one looks like characters are going to be coming out of the television. I also think this is going to be a really fun episode because Jimmy Tatro and Scott Porter are guest starring, and I really like those guys, so I think they're going to bring some really fun elements to this episode. If you like Charmed as much as me, check out my playlist where you can see all of my Charmed videos, and join me in the comments to continue the conversation. See ya!